I really do think that anyone who has the enough passion, enough drive, is willing to do the work that it takes to grow a business can be successful if they want to. Turning a jewelry hobby into a successful, thriving business is hard to do on your own, especially for all of you makers out there who are just ready to throw in the towel and get rid of all of your supplies and forget about your passion to make jewelry forever. If that's you or that's ever resonated with you, you're not sure how to take that next step, then you are going to be inspired by this story. Hey there, I'm Tracy Matthews. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer of Flourish and Thrive Academy, and I help jewelry business owners launch, grow, and scale successful 6- and 7-figure businesses using my methodology called the desired brand effect. And today I'm interviewing one of our students and graduates. Her name's Erin Kandoll of Twisted Ginger Jewelry. She is an incredible artist. She makes beautiful, beautiful work. And there was a time when she was ready to throw in the towel on her jewelry business. She found us. She's invested in her business by taking a couple of our programs. And today she is here to talk a little bit more about her experience. She first took Laying the Foundation, and then eventually went on to take our Train Your Customers to Buy From You online program. Erin is a massive inspiration. I found this interview very inspiring for a very particular reason. Her husband is a fisherman and he's gone about 8 months of the year. And so she's not only growing a thriving jewelry business that is seriously contributing to their family now, but she's raising 2 young children. She has a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I hope you'll enjoy this story, especially if you're someone who's thinking about giving up or you just want to get more out of your online sales or whatever it might be. Let's dive into this interview. But before we do, if you like it at any time, make sure that you hit that little like button and share with us in the comments below after you watch this video what you enjoyed most about Erin's story. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and enjoy this video. One of my favorite things to do is to interview students in our community, and today is no exception. I am interviewing Erin Kandoll of Twisted Ginger Jewelry. Erin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm so excited to interview you. This has been like a really fun journey for me to watch you. In particular, because a couple of months ago, you just randomly shot a video and I think posted it on social media or sent it to us or something. And it was just, you were just sharing how Laying the Foundation, one of our programs, really helped you in your business. And then a few days later, or maybe at the same time, you signed up for our Train Your Customers to Buy online program. So I just want to talk a little bit about your journey and to learn a little bit more about what's going on in your business right now, because there's some exciting things. Sound good?
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of an interesting story. I'll try to summarize, but I had been making jewelry for about 7, 8 years. I'd quit right around the time of the pandemic. I'd sold off all my things. And like a year went by, I was pregnant and I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I just like stumbled upon this podcast actually.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. And I was like already missing making jewelry, but I couldn't figure out how to make money making jewelry because I was an expensive hobbyist for sure. Anyway, so I listened to you and then I signed up for the tell us about the course. And then I just like put the money down right away.
I think it was the boot camp or something like that.
Boot camp. You're right.
Yeah.
It was a boot camp. And then I like signed up for Laying the Foundation right away because I was like, this is exactly what I need because I can't not make jewelry, but I can't make jewelry and not make it a business. So yeah, it was like all serendipitous. It aligned at the right time. And yeah. And so now that was like a year and a half ago, or I think my baby's almost 2. So yeah. And it's just, my business is just like a tumbleweed. It's just like going so fast. I can't keep up with it. And it's amazing.
It's so exciting. Well, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about this stunning jewelry that you're wearing. For anyone who's listening to the audio only podcast, you don't get to see it. You might want to go stalk it on YouTube because her jewelry is insane. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration. It looks like it's really labor intensive.
It is. So nature has always been like a huge part of my inspiration. And I've always been one of those people that have a bunch of crystals on my nightstand. So once I discovered like they help a lot. Once I discovered I could put like stones with the silversmithing together, I was hooked. And sometimes I make very a little more simple designs with just the stone. And sometimes I do these elaborate nature inspired pieces because I live in a rainforest. That's what I love. Yeah, I just kind of go where the stone takes me. I zone out and into this my little portal of creativity, and I just go with the flow of the stone. And yeah, I don't think about it too much. It just happens.
Well, it's beautiful work. And is all the detail hand tooled?
Everything's hand tooled. Yep. From a jeweler's saw. The only thing is that I do buy different chains. Sometimes I find vintage chains and I marry them with my pieces. But yeah, everything from start to finish is completely cut, shaped, stamped, soldered.
I don't think most people make their own tiny chains. Maybe bigger chains.
Yeah, okay. Good.
That's a lot of work, like the little tiny ones. I know the bigger ones are a little bit easier to make, but awesome. So, well, your work is beautiful and congratulations on getting restarted. I'm excited to hear a little bit more about your journey. So I know that you shut your business down, you were pregnant, you decided that you wanted to maybe restart a business but you're like, I'm only going to do it if I make money. So tell me about like what is kind of has been going on with your sales and all that stuff. Like, how did the business restart? Maybe is the best way to ask that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just started implementing the things that I learned in laying the foundation. Like number one, making a website that was a legitimate website, starting with just putting the LLC on the end of the business.
Yeah.
It was crazy how just the little simple things started to kind of like compile that I learned, and I just kept implementing everything that I was learning. And before I knew it, I was getting more and more business. And right when I had signed up, I took my first TYC. That was my second course. So it was like right after I'd taken that, I went and looked at my numbers and I realized that I had made as much in the first 3 months of 2023 that I made in online sales of the entire year of 2022. And I was like, I didn't
Oh
even
my
know.
gosh.
Yeah, I was just amazed to see that all the things I learned in the courses and implemented were working. And then I was really excited for the next chapter. And that wasn't even including like my wholesale orders and in-person events and things. So I'm excited to see what the end of this year brings.
That is how many wholesale accounts do you have?
I have 2 stores currently that I work with. They sold out of one of my orders and she just called and doubled her order. And I am like, I can't wait to get home and make it. I'm still traveling, but I'm going to be home soon. And yeah, I told my husband he should maybe learn how to smith this winter when he's off from his fishing. So we can.
Do you live in Alaska or something? I feel like
I do. Yep.
Okay.
A tiny little island in Alaska, 3,000 people, very small.
And there's a rainforest there?
It is a rainforest. Yep. So a lot of rain, not much to do except for like cultivate creativity. I always say boredom cultivates creativity. So we like go out in nature and make art. That's
so great. I love it. I would love to have a slow life like that sometimes. I'm just like maybe for a couple of weeks and then go back to being busy, but which is so great. Okay, so like what were some of the challenges that you were facing trying to get your business off the ground before you encountered us? Like, I'm just curious. I'm always curious to know like how people approach maybe starting a business or having a hobby and wanting to make money from it. Like what was going on there?
Yeah. So I guess some of the biggest challenges I faced was that I was living in a tiny community, and I will say my local community supports art so much, and they really just showed up year after year. That was only 3,000 people. So being able to like outreach and especially when I moved into the more intricate higher price point jewelry, I knew I needed to expand my base, but I didn't know how. So basically Flourish and Thrive taught me how to expand out into the world. I've been shipping in countries all over the world, and I never thought that was an option. So, but between the marketing and the website and all the things, that's how it happened.
Oh, great. So what's your average price point for the more intricate pieces?
For the more intricate pieces, they range from around $250 upwards of, I have a pendant right now that's at $2,300, but I do typically stay in the $250 to $900 range based on the stone and labor and all the things, you know, you taught me.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah. So laying the foundation, for those of you who don't know, is sort of our program that we work with people who are kind of more in the startup phase. And I usually identify the startup phase for people who are kind of sub six figures who haven't taken that program. Not that everyone needs to have a six-figure business or a seven-figure business or a multiple six-figure business, but typically when people are trying to make sales and they're struggling to make it, there's a lot of foundational work that's missing. And you've addressed a couple of things that we talked about, like especially with like pricing and understanding some of the things that need to be done. I think that there's a big disconnect with artists when they're pricing their work. And so they're doing all this stuff and then they end up feeling like they're always broke because they're not pricing their work properly. And there's like, I don't know what it is, but there's also like shame and this like starving artist mentality sometimes wrapped up in feeling like you can charge enough because I don't know, it seems to be a universal thing. And so one of my core things is to give people the confidence to actually put themselves out there. And I hate to use the term like charge what you're worth, but it's really about pricing the right way so that you're actually making money and you're delivering a beautiful product and piece to the consumer, but then being able to make money yourself and give them something that they want, I guess is the best way to put it. So that was like a little bit of a random sidebar, but I know that after laying the foundation, you decided to join us for our Train Your Customers to Buy From You online program. What were some of the reasons that you decided to join that program?
This program like fell into my lap at the right time. I heard about it because of course I follow you on socials and listen to your podcast, but I was feeling very frustrated. I jumped into Instagram way late. I didn't even know this was going on in the real world. I was making jewelry long before I jumped on there, but I jumped in at a time when it was harder for makers. We weren't being seen as much. And I was just like, ugh, and I was feeling so frustrated at putting all the time and effort into that and not seeing results. And I loved the message of like, you know, you want your clients to come to you and not rely on your social platforms. And that really made me feel empowered. And like, you know, if something were to happen to those tomorrow, you know, it's okay because I've built these relationships and I've learned how to do that. So yeah, that I heard about TYC right when I was struggling with that. And it just was like, this is exactly what I need to learn how to do.
Awesome. And so you joined the TYC. You've been implementing like crazy, it sounds like. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've done to support this goal of like not necessarily relying on social media.
So I've basically rebuilt my website. It looks way more professional. I had some help with that with the online website audit and the email campaigns. I feel like I have a strategy for that now. I was kind of like emailing, feeling like I was intruding on people's inboxes, but now I'm like, oh, okay, I have things I can offer. I've recently just launched a jewelry blog on my website. I've also started a custom consultations. I feel like I've just been given these new innovative ideas or sparks that have sparked ideas to really get people more interested in coming directly to me. And
what do you think? What has had the most impact in your business?
It's hard to really pinpoint one thing, but I would say the know, like, and trust factor has been a huge thing that I always carry with me. That's something that I like to implement in life in general. And when I combined it from the business, like hearing you always talk about that in your courses, you know, we don't always need to be selling. We don't always need to be pushing, but like it's a give and take, you know, and that has really impacted my business.
So tell me a little bit about some of the specific outcomes that you've experienced as a result of participating in the programs.
I would just say like overall business growth and also feeling like a business owner. Like before I was just jewelry artist, which I loved being, but I never considered myself a business owner. And now I feel like I can direct, own, and operate all of the moving parts that go along with it that I knew nothing about before, like down to the SEO on my website. I didn't even know what those initials stood for before I took the class. And now I feel ready to like, my business is at a point where I'm ready to hire help. And I feel like I'm in a good place to know how to teach the things that I've learned.
That's so great. Like, who do you want to hire? What kind of person do you want to bring in?
I need some help with production on not necessarily the intricate pieces, but I launched a line in kind of the medium range that is accessible anytime. Because that was some of the feedback I was getting, is like, how do I get your jewelry? So I wanted to make something I had. So I have someone who has worked with me in the past, and she's excited to come back and do some of that. Also with the packaging. And then also really I could use some help with the website, because I'm doing all the photography, the web building, everything, also while being pretty much a stay-at-home alone mom running a business of two, because my husband fishes, so he's never home.
That's what he does for a career? Is he always out on a boat?
He's a commercial fisherman. Yeah, he works 7-8 months a year on the water. So it's just
Oh,
me and the
wow.
kids a lot, but I'm making it work,
So you're kind of a single mom in a way, and you're doing all of this? Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh, I mean, like, kudos to you, because that's like not easy.
It's not. It's not. And I make it work. The one thing that is like gets me through is that I love that my kids get to see me make a career out of what I love to do. Like, I feel like that lesson is invaluable for them. Like, I love that they get to see that. They see me work hard and achieve my goals and doing what I love. It's great.
Yeah. How old are they?
I have a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Right, you have a little baby. A
Yeah.
little tiny baby. That's hard. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work. I don't know how you do it and like run your business at the same time. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, so you mentioned earlier, you kind of alluded to this earlier, but how have your sales been impacted through taking these programs?
I have online sales. I never had those before. Like, I
Yeah.
was only doing in-person shows in our local community. So basically all of my income online is new. That's new in the past 2 years since I started taking the courses. So I mean, you've opened up the world to me, really.
Yeah, that's so great. And you said that within the first 3 months of this year, your online sales surpassed all of your sales last year. Am I getting that
Yes.
right? That is insane.
I was a little taken back by it too. I was like, this can't be right. But I looked again and I was like, oh no, it's right. So it really got me even more jazzed about like a 5-year outlook and how far. I haven't even implemented everything I've learned, but like when I do, I know it's just going to continue. But I need help before then. I need some help before then.
So you mentioned in our pre-interview that you did a couple of fun things. First, you started an incentive program for your customers, and then you also got rid of a bunch of extra inventory. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So the very first week of TYC, there was this fun little challenge in the beginning where we were trying to see if we could make the amount of money back that our course costs to begin with in the first week. And the way to do that was to go through all of the things that collect dust on your shelf, because as a jewelry designer, you have lots of ideas over the years. Some of them work, some don't. So anyway, I went through, I used the fancy little spreadsheet provided. Thank you. That was what I needed. And I was able to sell off numerous things that were collecting dust. And on top of that, I was able to come up with some fun incentive programs I haven't implemented yet, but they're in my to-do list. But like the little beads sitting around, I have lots of little beads and I love making those elastic bracelets. So I was able to come up with an idea to like give those away as gifts to my clients for purchases and things like that. So I just have I felt like it was a really fun brainstorming creative way to get rid of things and make money off of things that are just sitting around on your shelves. I was able to sell off enough of the dead inventory that I wasn't using in the first week, and I made half of what the TYC courses cost. So
Oh
I
my
didn't
gosh.
amount, but half.
So you made like half of your investment back within the first week. That's awesome.
That's how you say it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yes, I did.
No, I love that. It's great. Now, I remember in the video that you posted on social media and you shared with us a while ago, and I reshared it a while back. You mentioned that you are opening up a studio now. So do you want to tell me a little bit about that? That's exciting.
Yeah, so this has been the other big change, exciting change. I bought a old shipping container that was on the island already, and we filled in a plot of land right beside our home and just put that there, and we're going to renovate that and turn it into my new jewelry studio. So my husband is super excited. He's been really cute. He's been ordering the windows, and like now that he's very encouraging of me running this business. And as soon as he gets back from fishing, and we're going to start on it, we're going to cut out windows, we're going to put in proper ventilation. It's going to be a real studio, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah,
You
that's an
mentioned
exciting new development too.
what does your husband think about all this?
He's thrilled. I will say he's always been very supportive of me. It's really cute to watch how excited he is now. And I can tell he's kind of an acts of service is his love language. So I
Yeah.
can tell just the way he supports me now, but it's wonderful to feel like, this is going to contribute to our family and our income and our livelihood, and it's wonderful to feel a part of that with him. And it's a challenge on an island as a wife of a fisherman, because there's not many jobs and I have kids. So anyway,
Yeah.
it's an exciting new chapter for us. And it's really kind of made some exciting new moments in our story together. So
That is so great because I can imagine that there's probably not a lot of other job opportunities. And then being a single mom, like if
yeah,
he's out fishing all the time, like you can't necessarily even work outside of your home.
right. Correct. Yeah. It's a challenge that a lot of fisher wives face up there. Although a lot more women have started fishing, but with kids, one of you has to stay home. So
I love that. I think you referenced this earlier, but like what was really the thing that got you over the edge that you wanted to join the TYC?
I think I was just looking for a way to continue doing what I loved, but I didn't know how. And I will say I really enjoyed your specific energy, the way you talk. I know I'm talking to you right now, but I seriously was motivated by you. I loved your, can I say BS? Your no BS
I'm very
outlook
direct.
on things. Yeah, you are. I love that. And I just felt like I really trusted you from the beginning, and I just wanted to jump in. You were super inspiring. And then as soon as I did, I started also seeing other of my favorite jewelry brands out there that had been through your program. And I was like, oh yeah, like I love their brands and they've been through the program. And I was like, I can do this. I can do this. So yeah, you were a huge part of that inspiration, just
Mm,
your can-do
thank you.
personalities. Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
I really do think that anyone who has the enough passion, enough drive, is willing to do the work that it takes to grow a business can be successful if they want to. I've seen some of the most talented artists that I've ever seen, like some of the work that they develop, never do anything with their business because they battle with fear of putting themselves out there. I've seen some amazing artists, like incredible artists, actually go for it and get what they want. And so there's not really, like, I always say this, it's like talent isn't really the biggest indicator of success. It's really more about a willingness to take the actions and do the work. And so you're definitely doing that. And I know that we can expect big things out of you, Erin, which is exciting.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm so excited to see where this all goes.
Yeah. So how has your business and life changed, do you think, since you've joined this program?
I mean, like, it's all intertwined. I love that you said both together, your business and life, because that really is what it is. I have this kind of like self-worth that I wasn't feeling in some certain areas before. Like I have it in other areas of my life, but my personal life has improved. My family getting to see me do what I love, like I mentioned before, and just having something to like call my own, something I built out of my passion. It's just it gives me a sense of joy that it's really hard to put into words, but it's all good.
I love that. Is there anything that you would say to someone who's thinking about joining our Train Your Customers or even laying the foundation, any of our programs, that you would say to them if they were on the fence and not sure if they should join?
Yeah, well, I 100% would recommend it. And in fact, I'm kind of a little secret walking infomercial for Flourish and Thrive uh, because when I'm passionate about something, I like to spread the word about it, I guess. And I have a lot of silversmith friends in the community through Instagram, and we talk on the side a lot. And I've actually had phone calls with a lot of them, and they're asking like, "Have you taken this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have." And yeah, you should do it. Like, it's hard to even explain why, other than it works. So yes, I definitely recommend it.
Oh, that's so
Game
sweet.
changer.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Any other final pieces of wisdom or? Advice?
I just think it's worth noting that, like, no matter how much you might have self-doubt, as we all do, like you said, if you believe in yourself and implement and do the work, you really can do it. And if you were like me and thinking, I'm always just going to kind of make jewelry because it's fun and never make money, you can, it's really neat to believe and know that you can turn it into a successful business for yourself. Yeah, I'd say go for it. The community's great. The community's super supportive. And I guess that's it.
Okay, awesome. Where can everyone find you?
So you can find me at twistedgingerjewelry.com. That's my webpage. And I have some direct contacts on there. My primary social media platform is Instagram currently. That's at Twisted Ginger Jewelry. And I've recently started using Threads, so I'm on there too.
Oh,
Same
cool.
handle for all of, I love it. I'm loving it.
You are.
But I'm same handle for TikTok and Pinterest at Twisted Ginger Jewelry. And I need to learn more about those, but I'm getting there. I'm finally getting Instagram figured out. So the other ones will come.
How are you using Threads? I'm just curious.
I'm exploring it right now. Just kind of, it's not strictly for business, I guess. There's a little bit more, there's business intermixed with like who I am as a person, which I kind of like seeing in the other people I've seen on there.
Mhm.
Feels real a little bit. So
Yeah. More like conversations, like the old school status updates from Facebook.
yeah, yep,
Back
exactly.
in the day.
Yeah, not all just like the pretty and the polished, you know?
Yeah.
So
Erin, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you.
thank you. I appreciate you too. I'm so grateful you had me and for what you put out into the world. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And if you're interested in learning more about the Train Your Customers to Buy From You online program, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/TYC. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.